G'day. The damage to the crankshaft is more than what I bargained for.
Well, I have removed all the bits that just come out of this casing. This is the clutch side or the right side of the crankcase, and I've just wiped that out with a rag at this stage. I haven't used any solvent, and that's the other side. Again, just wiped out with a rag, and it's I really didn't come across any real deposits of metal or any nasties except a little bit of dirt that had got into it, and old oil, a little bit of water at one stage. So I bagged up the shafts that came out. That's the main shaft. That's the counter shaft. And then I made little bags for the selector forks. There's two in that one in there. I think that's the reverse one. No, this is the reverse one. This one moves a dog on the counter shaft, and that's the barrel in there. So those parts again have just been wiped with a rag. I'll wash them with kerosene and then hot water and dry them and everything before they're assembled back into a box. But no, they're probably not seeing any of that because of the glare. They're all nice parts, and certainly no obvious problems with any of them. And so this case now will get a wash with a bit of solvent. The oil still keeps running out of every crevice and orifice, and the bearings all seem okay. I'd expect a little bit of sand to have got into them while it's sitting here. There's a roller bearing in there, where are all the rest of the ball races. So I'll move on.
I've just temporarily put these two empty cases back together to have a look at this damage in this area again. And I know there was a chip off here, and it looked like a broken edge over this side, and a little platform there. I was hitting on that when I was knocking the cases apart, thinking that seemed a bit strange. But it turns out the starter motor, and this I think is the one that came off here, and it sits down in there like that, and the O-ring. So this piece here is missing, which wasn't bothering me too much because I thought I could set this lower case up in the mill and clean up this edge and actually make an aluminium nose that I would have been able to fit in to that area neatly and cut away the back of it so the gears still mesh with the cog. But on top of that, those areas at the top over here, lighting's not great there. This piece here missing. There's been a piece break off the top of that, and there's a piece missing off the end here where this overhang is. And those two pieces worry me more so. I think I could build this side up. I could mill this down so that it was flat and put a spacer in there. Maybe this hole has a bolt coming up from the bottom holding the seam of the case together here. But so the starter motor has broken out, not only at the bottom there where the nose is smashed, but also at the end where it bolts in. The bolts come down through here. One of them is actually the earth wire for the whole engine. It's attached to the back of the starter motor on one side, and the heavy positive lead that comes from the starter solenoid comes through to this terminal on the starter motor. And so this mount on this side is missing altogether, and as to how I'd attach something here that picked up the fixings for another starter motor has made me reconsider using this block again, and it's certainly making me think, well, let me better examine the block that's in the bike before I go ahead. I was thinking at the start that there wasn't much wrong with this motor. It looked terrible on the outside, but it looks brand new on the inside. So these problems, the problem here could be fixed. It's not desirable that you've got to fix it, but I've had a pretty good look through this. I think the internals of this motor are good. We've certainly got a good crankshaft out of it. And the other motor that's had a blown up top end with a bent conrod sticking out, you know, the crankshaft's got to be replaced because you can't remove the conrod from the crankshaft. And so that's got to come out. Now, what metal went through the engine during that explosion, who knows? I suppose that when I pull it out, I'll be able to look for metal fragments in the oil filter. If there's metal in the oil filter, there's probably metal through the oil pump. And you know, whether it died quickly or whether it chomped away for a while, firing metal through the whole engine, destroying it. I've been told that the engine out of the bike's about the same age as this one, or same mileage or kilometres on it as this one, about 7,000. And if the rest of the internals of the other one are good and there's no case damage, then I'll just change the crankshaft over to it and not spend too much time worrying about this crankcase. I'm at a sort of crossroads at the moment about that. I was hoping that one advantage of proceeding with fixing this one was that I didn't have to tear the other one out and have two engines in parts kicking around my shed. Mrs. is going nuts now that I've got parts everywhere, and it would mean that I wouldn't even go much further in cleaning the parts that I've removed. But anyway, I'm going to have to mull on that a little bit, pulling the other bike out, pulling the motor out of the bike, removing all the peripheral bits to get it to this stage. It's got to get right down to this stage to be able to remove the damaged crank. We know it's got a damaged crank. It may be all in vain because there's too many other damaged parts. I'm thinking that this engine casing is salvageable. It's just requiring more work than I'm particularly happy in doing at the moment, and I've got to weigh up the pros of pulling the other one out and pushing ahead with it. Putting whole gear sets and things in a different case isn't a great idea, because things like shims and spacers and things may not be perfect. I've got an idea this engine is like an 88 or an 89 model, and the other one's a 94. Now, whether there's other changes, I'm hoping there's no change at all in the crankshaft. They're both 250 and they both look CC, and they both sort of look the same, but You know, who knows what changes might have happened in 5 or 6 years of development of this kit. So, look, yeah, look, I think I do have to pull the other bike out, given I'm, you know, the realisation only this afternoon that there's chunks missing off here, and I would have to somehow graft pieces to the case to support that starter motor beyond, you know, I actually thought turning up a nose piece that I could fit in here after mounting the case in the mill and running a milling cutter around to carve out a nice round locating surface, and then turn up a nose in the mill and then cut half it away to expose just the gear. I thought that would fix this problem here quite adequately, and that was the main thing I had to deal with, but not so. I can't see how I can key pieces into the case here. I don't want to weld on the case, so we'll deal with that if the other case is also buggered. So I've decided that I'm going to reassemble this without washing all the parts. It's a bit of a dry run. I've got that reversing gear in there. I've got the barrel in there. I've got all the forks in the right positions. I've got the reverse selector in the right position. I've run through the gears. It's all working. All the levels are right. I think this cluster and mechanism is ready to put the case on. Now, there's really just 2 shafts to drop in here. The crankshaft up this end is not going in. I'll assemble it without the crankshaft. Obviously, it's the crankshaft that I need for the other engine. But yeah, I have decided I'm going to tear the other one apart before I think about doing anything more with this one. Just putting all those pieces back in the right configuration with all the selector forks and things was a little bit challenging. You needed about 3 hands at times, but I got it to slot together, and I think it's correct. There's the final drive, and here's the input shaft or the output shaft from the sub-transmission that drives through to the final drive shaft. There's no differential in the 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive models. I think well, I know that this casing has what looks like a bearing half there, and this is where, if you've got the 4-wheel drive version, they knock that end of the casting out here, and the drive shaft comes through there, and there's a bevel gear on here, a bevel gear on here that drives that front forward facing shaft, and then there's a universal joint out this end. So the castings are the same, and these cogs are the same. The gearbox there's the same in the 4-wheel drive version. This is just the 2-wheel drive version, and I think I'm ready to just slip the other half on. I've got to get all these shafts and little rods to come through the other piece as it goes together, but I'm just going to do that and close the lid on it so that I can store this engine together rather than in pieces. It would need to come apart before you. I'm just guessing you're going to use it for spares in future. The covers went together pretty easily. A little bit of jiggle. I've turned it now up so that the clutch side is upwards. I had the flywheel side up when I was putting the halves together, and yeah, I was pretty bloody pleased how well that just slotted back together. I'm not going to be tightening it up or putting glue on it or anything. It's just going to be a storage for spare parts, I suspect. But pretty happy. Good practice if I come to do the other one. Okay, I was just filming the drain screen here, filter screen. I've got this cover to put on. That's one of the things in this box that I had the bolts for this side into. I had the drain plug from here. I was just showing I haven't actually taken that screen off to clean it because it pretty much hasn't needed it. I would take it off if I was doing a final assembly, but I'm just putting it back together. This cover had some crap in those 3 compartments in the bottom when I took it off, but otherwise I didn't find a lot of metal, if any, and or just, you know, the thing's run 7,000 kilometres. You'd expect some minor shavings of metal to find its way into the system from new cogs first running together. But look, all in all, very good nick, and shame about the starter motor mount. I'm going to leave it there tonight. It's all the pieces sitting back in place. These covers have just been wiped out, and yeah, I can condense the engine. I've got the crankshaft sitting on the floor over there with the bits that go on it that I can't mount on in the case because the crankshaft's not there. They're the side covers turned up that way, having a bit of a drain. I'll let them drain overnight and give them a clean in the morning, put them back on. We'll get that button up tomorrow, get out to your shed and have some fun yourself.